Thank you for downloading the Barbecue Central Show. Maybe you're listening to this now because you missed the live version Tuesdays from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Barbecue Central Show is brought to you by these sponsors, which I am extremely grateful for. The Barbecue Guru, makers of automatic temperature control devices. Their website, thebbqguru.com. Big Papa Smokers, creators of some of the best rubs out there and retailer of many different grills and barbecue products. Their website, bigpapasmokers.com. Butcher's Barbecue, creators of injections, rubs, and seasonings. Their website, butchersbbq.com. Green Mountain Grills, some of the best pellet cookers out there on the market today. And their website is greenmountaingrills.com. Also by Cook Shack, some of the best industrial electric smokers out there today. Also pellet cookers as well. Their website is cookshack.com. Cookinpellets.com. If you want to fire those pellet cookers that I just talked about, visit cookinpellets.com to buy your pellets right now. Also, by the Chops Power Injector. Forget about using one needle to inject your meats. The Chops Power Injector system has 4 needles for your injecting pleasure. You can visit them at barbecuekansascity.com. That's BARBEQUE, kansascity.com. And by the Sam's Club National Barbecue Tour, you can visit kcbs.us/Sam's Tour for results, to register your team, or to see where the next event will be taking place. And by Pit Barrel Cooker, one of the most unique and efficient cookers out there in the market right now. Visit their website at pitbarrelcooker.com. And by Unknown Barbecue Accessories. You can visit them at unknownbbq.com/shop.
This is Jim Minion from Two Loose Screws. I'm listening to Barbecue Central.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening, and welcome to the really big Barbecue Central Show. This is the show that has taken the nation by storm. Well, so much so that YouTube has now kicked me off for whatever reason. Whatever, it's fine. Leave me alone, YouTube. Hello! We got trouble. We got big trouble. Anybody hear me? Anyway, we are live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. It is rapidly becoming known as the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I am your program host, Greg Rempe, and we got a lot to get to this evening. Appreciate you joining me. If you want to jump in on the show tonight, 216-220-0966. You can also email the show, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. There I am. You can also just sit back, relax, and enjoy the fun and frivolity that is the Barbecue Central Show. Wow. We're playing a lot of catch-up here. Internet issues tonight. I can smell it already. Here's what's coming up in about 12 minutes from now. Joining me at 9:14. First timer to the show, a huge following on a lot of the social media stuff. Scott Thomas from GrillinFools.com. Scotty. I think he's got a very interesting story. He's got a very interesting growth pattern within the marketing of barbecue and grilling. Plus, the guy's just a really good, from what I can tell by pictures. And I think that's how much most of us have to go on these days, right? Some batteries in a dime bag. It's how good does the food look? If it's your food, we should also talk to Scott specifically about giving credit where credit is due, because I think there are a lot of people out on the internet, no names please, rule one of the show, no names please. There's a lot of people out there that have pretty significant social media accounts that go ahead and pass off pictures right and left like they were the ones taking them. And believe me, they did not take them. That's not good to do. It's not good to do. Don't do that. So we'll talk to Scott Thomas coming up here in just a little bit. At 9:35, she will reprise her role here on this show. Robyn Lindars, Grill Grrrl. Haven't talked to Robyn in, it seems, well, not even does it seem, it's been months. Maybe even before the turn of the year. Maybe only once this year so far. Maybe 0 times. She was a new mother the last time we talked to her. We can get a quick recap on being a parent after not being a parent for a long time. That's always fun. And we'll get a recap of the 2016 Memphis in May. She was a part of that. She did the grill, the all-girls grilling competition. She got to hang out with Harry Connick Jr. She got to hang out with Down to Smoke as part of their team. So lots to catch up. She sent me a lot of pictures that we may or may... Oh, man. She sent me a lot of pictures that we may or may not be going through. Sure, I turn the volume off on this phone. I'm getting sport updates left and right. Left and right. That's left. Then we'll move to the second hour, and joining me in the second hour at 10:14, he is the pitmaster of Unknown BBQ. He's also the creator of Unknown Smoker Accessories. Jason Whitcomb will rejoin me on the show. More news to follow there in just a second. And then helping me close out the show, the official Texas embedded correspondent and pitmaster of Rogue Cookers, Doug Scheiding, will be joining me. We'll get a little Texas update. So that's your show, 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Your 2 bits of contact information should you see fit to join the show tonight. All right, first and foremost, get out the social media posts and Facebook posts and all that other stuff. Let everybody know the show's on. I would tell you to go over to the audio-only portion, which is my main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's questionable at best right now. Questionable at best. For the last 45, 50 minutes, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. So if you're feeling froggy and you like to gamble and you don't want to see my face, and who does? I don't know. I still find it bizarre that we actually have video of this show going on right now. Nevertheless, if you want to try it out there, that's fine. Once you get pissed that it's dropping for whatever reason, and it started right around 8:10 this evening, then you can jump over to OutdoorCookingChannel.com, which is also where the video feed is. And you can also try your luck on Roku or some of the other Internet Protocol television platforms. If they have an app store, go there, search for Outdoor Cooking Channel, and then download the app, and you're all set to go. Once again, my website, the audio only, thebbqcentralshow.com. Once you click on Listen Now, the thing that generates that has been herky-jerky at best. All right, so yesterday was Memorial Day, so I want to give a shout-out to all my peeps. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you had a great day. Also, I hope everyone took some time out of their day yesterday to really reflect on what Memorial Day means. Certainly having fun, cooking out. I think a lot of people view Memorial Day as the official launch of summer. A lot of kids just finished up school the previous week or just about to get out of school this week. It's kind of what we've come to know Memorial Day as, the official launch of summer, cookouts, tomfoolery, and shenanigans. But let's never forget that yesterday there were tens of thousands of our troops, both domestic and abroad, doing what they need to do so that we can keep the grills fired up, the beer flowing down our respective faces, and enjoying the freedoms that we have. Whether you like where the country is right now or not, you can't deny the fact that our freedoms are unlike no other country. And quite honestly, it's because the people that are putting it down day in and day out. Remember, the military here, unlike many other countries, is purely voluntary. So the people that are in the military are doing it by choice. Did you? I didn't. My brother did. He was a Navy vet. And I thank him for his service and everybody else that decided that they were going to serve this country. I give thanks to, because it is voluntary and a lot of people don't. In fact, it's an alarming percentage of the population as we move older, the millennials and younger, that choose not to go into the military for even, one up, 4 years or whatever. That's, from a defense standpoint, that's a little concerning, right? That might be a sign of where our time is at right now and kind of a disassociation of service and country. And I don't know how to fix that at all. I have no recommendations there aside from saying, hey, if you get out of high school, there might be a mandatory 2-year serve. I mean, who knows? I'm just saying that the proof is in the pudding in the statistics. It pans out that it's not trending that people are going to go more into the armed services than not. It's exactly the opposite. So if you're in there right now and you are continuing to re-up and stay in the service, whether it's a career or whether you're just something you're passionate about now and you might not be 4 years from now, whatever. I thank you for doing the service that you're doing each and every day, allowing us our freedoms, keeping us safe, and everybody that has ever served. Thank you very much from the Barbecue Central Show and me personally. Also, I want to welcome Jason Whitcomb, Unknown Smoker Accessories, the newest advertising partner of the show. Yes. If you don't know about him, we're going to talk to Jason, as I'd mentioned, at 10:14. Little insider sneak peek. Smoker accessories and grill accessories. Lid hinges, stainless steel spice racks, stainless steel foil holders, stainless steel tool racks. Everything you need to be clean, efficient, and effective in front of your fire implement or vessel. Whether it's in the backyard like me or on the competition circuit like Jason or a number of the other teams out there, these products can be used and enjoyed by one and all, and you go to unknownbbq.com/shop. unknownbbq.com/shop. So thanks to Jason for coming aboard. Very excited to have him. Great products, by the way, if you haven't checked them out. By the way, if you like ways to better up the barbecue and grilling game, I say it each and every week, no better or easier way than to do it by going over to butcherbbq.com. Holy moly. You would recall last week, and I brought it back out, the new injection canisters. That's right. If you order injection from Dave, previously it's been in the bags, resealable bags. Great concept, great idea. It's been tried and true, but what happens when you don't close it all the way? It spills all over the place. You might as well be pouring money out and just letting it blow in the breeze. Dave was like, there's got to be a better way. Yeah. How about a plastic container with a seal-shut top? And, where does it say? Free measuring spoon inside with directions. You're getting it from the best. Winner of hundreds of barbecue championships. The 2012 Barbecue Food Championship, World Foods, on TV's Barbecue Pitmasters, which I believe is off the air now. I had a great run. But all the products that you need, all the new rubs and the tried and true rubs. Still got the honey rub, still got the brisket and steak rub. You have the pecan, you have the cherry, you have the chipotle. You have the Pitmaster Secret Blend, double, triple Secret Blend rub from Dave. You got the Butcher's Barbecue Sweet Sauce. All of the injections. You have injection accoutrements like needles, injectors. Really, it's worth the time and effort to go over to butcherbbq.com and see what you are missing. If you've tried somebody else's commercially made injection and it hasn't worked for you in the past, you've had to throw it out. Now you can go to butcherbbq.com, click on trade in link, fill out what you have, send it over to Dave. He'll weigh it. Once it's weighed, he'll send you back in replacement some of his products. So you don't have to be left out in the cold. Your wife doesn't have to smack you around for wasting money when you could have took her out in the town for cocktails. No, Dave doesn't want that. I don't want it. Both Dave and I don't want that. And you don't want it. Go to butcherbbq.com and stock up. Always trust your butcher. That's what we say. That's the catchline. ButcherBBQ.com. Always trust your butcher. All right, we're back with Scott Thomas from Grillin' Fools right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Sam's Club National Barbecue Tour. 31 cities, 500,000 in single-dollar bills. Plus, eternal bragging rights if you win the whole damn thing. This weekend, the Sam's Club Barbecue Tour is rolling into Asheville, North Carolina for a local qualifying event. To keep up with the Sam's Tour, see where the next event will be, or to register your team to compete, there may be just a few spots left. Visit kcbs.us/Sam's Tour. Thanks to the good folks over at Sam's. All right, my first guest tonight kind of defines social media presence in the barbecue and grilling world. You probably already follow him on his various handles and internet website places and so forth. GrillingFools.com is the flagship. Let's head over to the hotline. Welcome first-timer to the show, Scott Thomas. Scott, how are you, buddy?
First time. Why is this the first time? That's it's killing me.
I don't know. We've followed each other for years.
How long?
Is it years?
At least. Twitter. That's where I first found you, was Twitter. And, when I used to like that platform. But, now, now it's all Instagram.
By the way, a majestic backdrop, and perhaps, are you whiskey or bourbon guy?
I'm a bourbon guy,
yeah,
yes.
What do you got in the glass there?
I've got a little bit of a Mulligan's bourbon, which is a guy here in town makes it in Kentucky. So it's actually, so it got a really high rating, and I just grabbed it and loved it, and I emailed the guy and said, hey, send me some more. So he did.
Are you familiar with the podcast Whiskey Cast?
I am not, but I'm going to have to go check that out now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that guy he inspired me to do that little barbecue roundup thing that I was doing that I've since gone over to Meathead's site and started doing. But the way he did it, and he's a very accomplished, real, me, I'm just a hack. That guy's actually a real journalist, and he's done it for years. You can tell by the way he talks. So if you like that kind of stuff, I think you would. News and views and tasting notes and all that stuff to keep you kind of well-rounded in the bourbon section. I just like to drink it, really.
Yeah, that's me. I was a Scotch guy for a while, and because I thought it was cool to drink single malt Scotch, and then I realized I didn't really like Scotch that much. So there's a few that I still drink, but I found bourbon, and man, I am happy as a clam with bourbon.
No doubt about it.
And tequila, I sip tequila too. Got to try that tequila.
Scott Thomas is joining me here on the show. The website is GrillingFools.com. So, Scott, for the people that aren't following you or maybe aren't familiar or tuning into the show for the very first time tonight, maybe a little background about you and where the passion for the live fire comes.
Well, so the running joke in my family is that I was sent to college with a suitcase and a grill and a case of ramen noodles, which is about the only thing I haven't grilled is ramen noodles. So I literally started the website. I was just talking to some guys on a football site, and in the summer months, we talked about what we grilled, and we shared the pictures on what is it, Flickr? Is that still around, or I don't know, it wasn't Flickr. It was Image Shack or something like that. And I realized after a couple of years that I had enough for a blog. So I put this all into a blog, and I use it just to kind of write off charcoal and grills that I'd buy, as like a tax thing. And then the guy at the local paper covered us, and then we got a couple things. We had to actually put out a real website and incorporate. So my little tax shelter turned into I was hemorrhaging cash. So then it was GrillingFool.com to start. I brought in my dad and my cousin, that's all three of us. And since then, we've done television 50 or 60 times. I've been featured in the Wall Street Journal. I've flown all around the country doing stuff, done radio shows. And the cream, the actual jewel on top is this segment right here. This is it.
Yeah. National television poppycock. Let's get right onto the number one internet barbecue show, right?
Yeah. Flying to New York to go consult on Arby's menu.
Screw that.
Because I'm a meat enthusiast. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But basically, what our shtick is, it's step by step, picture by picture, foolproof instructions. So we've never taken a class. We've never, taught, or we teach classes now. But we've never, we weren't taught this. We just kind of figured it out, and we figured it out by screwing up everything. We burnt and undercooked, and our families had to wait hours to eat that was supposed to be done. Like I did a whole pig on Sunday, and it was 2 hours late because it was much bigger than I expected. And we got it on late. It was a long story. It wouldn't fit in the cooler, so I had to go store it at a local butcher shop, and so I couldn't get it as early. And so, yeah, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess.
So the question of the day is: you start small tax shelter idea, and then now you're here. Are you full time into Grill and Fool, or are you still like me with a day job, and this is what you do to generate, the passion and maybe extra income or whatever else?
There's still a day job. There's an exit strategy forming. But I've been in IT for 14 years, so I'm a senior level guy. I make it pays well. So it's not like I could jump ship and we downsized to one car and really no cable, really went bare. I could probably do it, but as long as I can double dip, I'm going to do it. And even when I could quit, I'm probably going to work and just pay down every nickel of debt I have, stack some money away, and then I'll walk away and or do a part-time thing or something like that.
I know, like a lot of people say, when you're in your day job or you're trying to work to get out of it, and I'm in a similar boat, except there's no way I could actually leave my day job. I would go right into destitution. Nevertheless, it's always hard to say no to money, especially if you're making a good wage or a lot of money. Right. I mean, it's no matter what your passion is, if you've become an expert or a senior level guy or whatever you want to call it, and you're making a good buck, that's really tough to just say, I'm going to go follow my passion.
Right, and it's a passion, and I love doing it, but I'm not sure about doing it, 7 days a week for, because it's not something you just do from 8 to 5. I mean, that's not the way it works. It's not what we do. I mean, if you look over my shoulder here, I added that on over my deck, put lighting into it, and a ceiling fan so that I could shoot at night. And I could shoot in the rain, I could shoot in the snow, or whatever. So, I mean, and, that was $15,000 so I could do this crazy, whatever this is, in the evenings and on the weekends at night, things like that. So
what's like the 5-year plan for Grill and Fools?
There's never been a plan. Somebody said, I said, what should I do? I said, content. So I worked on content, and then somebody said, work on your pictures because they suck. And so I've improved them. I'm still a hack. I have to take 500 pictures to get 30 that I put on for a single post. Quality comes from quantity.
Yeah.
If I take enough of them, a couple of them are going to be good. It's the blind squirrel kind of theory.
Right.
So here's the thing: I'm making good money on Instagram right now, but that could change in a heartbeat. So I don't know. The plan is to keep. We're going to put out a little e-cookbook here. I don't know if I ever want to publish a hardback, an actual physical cookbook, but I think we're going to do some small, really cheap, couple bucks, with our best recipes and that kind of thing. But other than that, it's kind of the first goal is still my goal is content, and in doing that, now that it's become a business to work with as many brands as I can and build that reputation where I want people coming back to me year after year after year and say, hey, we want to work with you. We like what you do. You're easygoing. You get it done. You're on time. That kind of thing.
Business-wise, I'm sure there's a lot of people that either are listening now or will get this in podcast, and you just said, we're making decent money on Instagram right now.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of know what that means, but I really don't know what that means, and I've really just taken to Instagram over the last maybe 12 months, especially after seeing, man, I can't believe I'm going to say this because it sounds like really old, but since my kids are like really into it, how do you make money at Instagram? Like, it's a bunch of people following you, and it's a lot of food pics, or, I mean, it's not all food pics, but it's a lot of food pics, right? I mean, that's kind of like the Instagram niche. So, like, how do you make money at that?
Brands absolutely love Instagram because Instagram has the engagement of potential clients is like 120 times higher than Facebook and like 180 times higher than Twitter. All right, you go to Facebook, you never leave. You sit there and you tool around in there. When's the last time you clicked on an ad on Facebook? I think I've done it once in my life, and I'm not a big Facebook user, so that's not saying much. And Twitter is just kind of you're being barraged with information. It's we're all just there shouting over each other is what it is right now, and you, me, everybody else, and so Instagram, they love it. People like to be approached by brands on Instagram, where they don't like it on Facebook. So I give this as an example. We just had our 4th child, and we told our friends and family verbally, but the rest of the world found out on Facebook, right? So when a brand, it's part of my wife's psyche. I mean, it's part of who she is. And so when a brand were to approach her, she'd be like, hey, you're in my personal space. Instagram, even though it's owned by Facebook, is not like that. So there's a lot more interaction and engagement. And the other thing is it's not throttled, so they absolutely love Instagram. So I got brands from Kentucky Fried Chicken to Danby mini fridge, was over here on my deck as a mini Budweiser fridge. And
so is it like, hey, we're Danby mini fridge, Scott, we want to give you this refrigerator and then take a picture of it, or what?
Well, I get requests daily. I want to give you a product. Would you take a picture and put it on there? And I say, listen, I have 4 kids and a wife, and anytime I do this, it takes away from my time with them. So I have to justify that to my wife, and my wife can't spend a mini fridge. So and that's basically what I tell them. And I go, do you have a budget? And we talk, and then sometimes I kind of gauge what I want to charge based on the company. Charging a company like Kentucky Fried Chicken is different than Danby Mini Fridge. They're not nearly as well known or as big, so it kind of depends. And but the money is sick.
So is it flat rate for? I mean, scaled to Danby or Kentucky. But is it like, okay, Kentucky Fried Chicken, I'm going to charge you $5,000 if I take this picture with this drumstick. And then you scale it down to Danby. You say, okay, I'm going to charge you $500. I mean, obviously, I'm just throwing out numbers here, but or do you have to get so many reactions, or is it like a sliding scale or back end points like the movies? I'm very interested.
If they want to give me a buck alike, great. I don't get that much, but the standard rate is $100 per 10,000 followers for a pic. So if you got 100,000 followers, it's $1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have that. I get 5 cents. I think if I do the math right, I think I'm going to get 5 cents. So
there's two magic numbers here for you Instagrammers out there.
Yeah.
The first one is 10,000.
Okay.
That's when you can go, hey, now I can charge $100 and you can start approaching brands, and they're happy to work with you. When you get to 1,000 likes, average 1,000 likes per picture, then brands are going to come running at you.
They will come to you,
throwing money at you.
Really?
Yeah, I don't approach that many brands. I get approached all the time.
How many Twitter or how many Instagrams do you have?
123,000.
What? Holy! Wow. So I mean, what's the magic way of getting followers? Is it to pay services and then have those porno girls follow you back, or what? Like, what's the deal?
I never paid a nickel. If you do that, if you pay it, you get the followers. You'll never get to the 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
Because you'll have the numbers, but they're not interacting with you because they don't care about what you're doing.
Right.
So, and I see people out there that, and I can name people and companies.
Name them. Wait.
I will not name
them. Rule
not.
Number 1 of the show: no names, please.
Yes, I will not name them, but I know people that for a while I was battling. I have actually the number 1 grilling and barbecue Instagram feed in the world.
Wow.
And that's not just among bloggers. I have more followers than Weber, Big Green Egg, Charbroil, and Kingsford combined. So, but there was a company that I was fighting with, and every week they gained 2,000 followers on like clockwork and didn't post anything all week. And I reached out to them and I said, like, how do you do that? This is magical. How does that happen? And then they backed off for a few months, and I left them a long time ago.
All right. So, but is there any kind of formula of getting the Instagram followers? I mean, obviously, people are going to hear this now and want to quickly duplicate success. Obviously, I believe in working harder and working smarter.
There's an absolute formula, and I could teach it to you. That's also a fee.
Yeah.
So
for $100,000 per follower, I'll help you.
No, not that. But for a few $1,000s, I could teach somebody how to do it in an afternoon. But there's absolutely some tricks. The main tricks are, one, it's got to be high quality. So don't post crap. One of the second ones is don't, if you're a food blogger, don't post pics of the kids. Nobody wants to see strangers' kids. And I hear this all the time from the mommy bloggers. They want to see what's behind the scenes of what happens in my world. And then they go look at their feed, and those pictures of their kids do a third of the traffic as the other one. So it's not that they want to see that. It's that the mommy bloggers want to be seen, have their kids be seen. It's a vanity thing. It does not grow their following at all. So treat it like it's a business. It's an absolute business. So treat it like a professional.
So if I'm barbecue guy, the majority of my posts should be anything that has to do with barbecue and grilling in the industry, and not showing my kids or my car.
Your dog. Well, you know what? Hey, if you got a thing for cars too, you can build that vertical. Go for it. You can show some cool cars, because that kind of relates. It's a guy thing. So you'll see me. I post. I dabble in spirits. I'll post bourbon and whiskeys and scotches and tequila, obviously. I mean, for Cabo, and as a brand ambassador. So yeah, I could probably branch out. I could probably branch out and do like all things guy porn, like guns and chicks and and knives and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of keep it to what it is, and that's it. I mean, I know people out there do that. There's a guy feeds like stuff that guys like or something like that do a pretty good job of that. So
are you making as much with the social media stuff as you're making at your day job, or does the day job still trump what you're making?
It still trumps, but the social media is now making more than the website is. And I sell a lot of my own ads. I have one of these ad networks. They always overpromise and underproduce, and I every year I give up for 2 years, and then I go back and I go, okay, I'll try you. These numbers look great, and then I'm like, these checks look small. What? I don't know. Is this the new math? Is this what I keep hearing about, this new math? Is that how we're doing this? Because I don't get it. So So now I'm focusing. I do a lot on Instagram. I'm trying to basically just hit that while the iron's hot until they get throttled. And when I get throttled, then it'll be back to whatever, schlepping my day job. So
it is perhaps important to note that you are actually somebody that knows how to cook and does. I mean, like me, not a competitor hitting the circuit kind of stuff like that, but a fairly accomplished backyard guy that can produce good food, and you can also put it out there for people to look at. Right. Yeah. I mean, I just cooked. I cooked a whole hog, Berkshire hog from Circle B Ranch for 80 people on Sunday. It's my 7th whole hog. I do one every year, and I did an extra one year for somebody who got married. I get asked to cater all the time. I don't do it. I've already got 2 jobs. I don't need a third one. When are you going to open a restaurant? Again, I've already got 2 jobs. So yeah, it's all self-taught. I just kind of, I'm one of those scientific guys that look at it and go, somebody told me, hey, you got to brine your ribs, and I brined them one time, and I'm like, these aren't any different than my regular ribs. And then about a year later, the guy said, you got to try it again, but use a control group. So I brined them, and then I put it with a set that wasn't brined. I was like, holy crap, night and day difference. So that's what I kind of do now. I'll try it one way and then have a control group to see if it's making a difference. I mean, I'm not as scientific as say Meathead. I mean, Meathead's he's the Alton Brown of the grilling industry. So but I try to kind of emulate that kind of Alton Brown Meathead kind of thing, and then go with the Steve Reichlin barbecue Bible, which was how to grill, step by step, picture by picture. He was limited by 150 pages. I got the entire internet. I can fill it up. Where do you see like your next round of posts coming from? Is it really from now until the end of summer going to be a lot of outdoor stuff just because we've hit the grilling season then? Yeah, my season, my only non-grilling season is like from about Christmas till about the end of February. I kind of take that time off unless it snows, because if it's snowing, I'm grilling. But just because I'm grilling all year with sponsor stuff. So yeah, I have something coming up tomorrow for Reynolds Wrap. I've got something from Cabo coming up. I've got World Harbor, some great marinades. I got something coming that we're shooting that on Saturday. So I'm almost blocking out at least 2 days a month where that's all I do is I grill for about 15 hours and shoot it, and
and fill memory sticks and then go sort them out later and hope I got all my shots and try to remember how exactly, take a lot of notes.
Scott Thomas is right there at grillinfools.com. And how many Instagram followers did you say you had?
123,000 the last count.
Wow. All right. So if you're not following him on Instagram, go ahead and check him out. And, I like the posts. Otherwise, I wouldn't follow you. So, from one follower to another, I certainly appreciate the content you're putting up there.
Right. And it's just grill porn. It's just absolute porn. It's all it is meat grill porn.
Last time I checked, guys love porn, any kind.
That's right.
So we should start to hook up more regularly. We'll actually put together some good meaty topics, no pun intended, going forward. But I appreciate you making the time tonight, Scott, and continued success. We'll talk to you soon.
And perfect timing because I think I just lost all of my light.
Yeah.
You see me turn up my screen.
Yeah, no doubt.
There, the light in my face a little bit, and now I'm like glaring off my glasses.
Yeah, outside light next time, and then we're in.
Well, I do. I have like outside lighting over there, but I thought we were good, and I'm like, we're fine. And it's like just dropped like an anvil, man.
This is what happens. It's nature, right?
All right, man.
All right, Scott.
So glad to be on. It's like been a dream of mine.
Yep, my pleasure.
Well,
Thanks
not
for
quite a dream, but it's been close to a dream.
All right, I'll take that. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
All right, man. See ya.
There he is, Scott Thomas. Making dreams come true in the Barbecue Central show. His dream was to come on. His almost dream was to come on the show. Thanks again to Scott Thomas. Check him out on Instagrams. Folks, the Chops Power Injector System is the National Barbecue Association's 2015 and 2016 barbecue tool of the year. 3 awesome sizes to fit your injecting needs. Backyard cooks to caterers, restaurant chefs, the Power Injector is right for you. Each of their patent-pending Chops Power Injector systems features not 1, not 2, but 4 needles evenly spaced at the perfect distance for even injecting. The number one seller is the Chops half-gallon, designed for competition or to pump up the backyard warrior. Easy to use. Clean it, fill it, pump it, and go. If you have just one brisket or pork shoulder to do, you don't need to fill it all the way up. Just put in what you need. It'll use it all. It comes with 14-gauge needles, 2 replacement plastic needle adapters, 3 plug screws, and a needle protector. $100 plus shipping anywhere. The 1-gallon Chops Power Injector System is designed for catering and bigger jobs. It holds double the amount of the half-gallon. Some use it in competitions like Memphis Barbecue or when you're cooking 10 shoulders to get that perfect one. It comes with 14-gauge needles, 2 replacement plastic needle adapters, 3 plug screws, and a needle protector. $120 plus shipping anywhere. The newest one is the Chops Full Power Injector System. It's electric. It's a commercial and competition Big Daddy. It's not a holding tank, but a 3.5-foot pickup tube that you can put in any size container. From a few ounces to a 55-gallon drum was designed for Chef Rob at one of the best barbecue restaurants in Kansas City. And he said time and time again that with the Chops Full Power Injector System, his briskets are better than ever. It comes with a metal needle adapter, 14-gauge needles, 3-inch 12-gauge needles, 2-inch 11.5-gauge needles, 3 plug screws, and a needle protector, $325 plus shipping anywhere. A number of the top pitmasters in the world are using CPI every day to make their barbecue better than the rest. Here's the thing. We live in a foodie world that now requires flavor in every bite. This is how you do it and do it fast. It's not just for meat either. How about infusing alcohol into fruit? Chops Power Injector can do it. They're all made in Kansas City, Missouri, USA. They got all the accessories you want. They have a great upgrade. You can make your Chops Injector bulletproof with metal needle adapters. How about that? Chops Power Injector Systems give your barbecue some power. Go to Barbecue Kansas City. That's BARBEQUE, BARBEQUE, barbecuekansascity.com. That's barbecuekansascity.com. And hook yourself up. I'm telling you right now, if you've only done it with a single needle and then you get the Chops Power Injector System after you get done smacking yourself for waiting so long, you'll be very happy going forward. All right, we're back with Robyn Lindars right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Green Mountain Grills, manufactures some of the best pellet cookers out there on the market today. Looking for the big one to house a lot of food? They got you. How about a medium size? Yeah, no problem. They got one there too. Small for tailgates. They got you covered. They can also supply you with pellets to fire those cookers as well. GreenMountainGrills.com. That's GreenMountainGrills.com. I love my Green Mountain Grill. I used it last night to cook my chicken wings on. I sure did. GreenMountainGrills.com. All right. My next guest, you can see here fairly regularly, and she has created GrillGrrl.com. We race over to the hotline and welcome back good friend of the show, Robyn Lindars. Robyn, how are you?
Oh, how you doing?
No camera tonight, Robyn? What's up?
Oh, oops, sorry. Hold on. I think we got it.
Hey, there we go. So, Robyn, how's motherhood?
Well, it's good. I'm a little tired.
Yeah?
I'm a little tired.
Ready for another one?
Not yet.
So, Hunter is his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, how old is he?
He just turned a year on May 22nd.
Oh, all right. So, I would say within the next 6 months, that's probably when you're going to start thinking about another one.
I know it's kind of getting close to that time, but I just can't imagine being pregnant again right now.
Well, I mean, you know, I having never been a woman, I can't speak on that part of it, but I can speak on the no sleep and having to pack everything and not being able to have any type of spur-of-the-moment anything probably for the last 12 months. Yeah.
So, like, the first 6 months are actually pretty tough. Like, now he's a year. We're kind of in... He's pretty awesome right now. He's really fun. He just got his first grill for his first birthday. He got a Mini Max, which is kind of cool. Really, it was more of a gift to myself, but, you know, in his honor.
No reason to tell him.
Exactly. He'll get to use it once he starts walking. Maybe he'll be more likely to start grilling. But no, we're having a blast with him. He's awesome.
All right, so we got a bunch of different stuff that we want to talk about tonight, and I guess the biggest thing that's happened recently is Memphis in May. Big deal. Not your first time down there, but perhaps, you know, you're like more involved in the whole situation this time around, right?
Yeah, you know, it was kind of interesting. We joined a new team this year, and of course, I was like 9 months pregnant last year, so I didn't do anything with Memphis in May. So it was a totally different experience, and we were on Mo Caisson's team this year, and, you know, you gotta love Big Mo, right? Just being around someone who's just such an inspiration in the world of barbecue was just amazing, just because, first of all, he's just such a really nice guy. You know, a lot of people, like, you know, big people in the world of barbecue, I think sometimes people associate with having egos or whatnot, and he doesn't. He's just like the nicest guy you can possibly think of. He's just a regular old guy, full of great knowledge, and you know, it's just amazing. Like, when you see everyone walking by the tent, like, everyone wants their picture with Mo, and he agrees to it. You know, he has no attitude about it. So it was just cool to see someone like him, you know, do his thing on the grill. And sadly, I mean, I was involved with the team, but in a different way. I brought a sponsor on, and our sponsor was the Kettle Pizza, which turns a kettle grill into a pizza oven. And so I grilled a shitload of pizzas all weekend.
Like, just for the general public to, like, show how it works, or just for the team, or both, or what?
Yeah. And they have a very cool product, so it was fun. I did a lot of pizza grilling, and you know, it's actually Clint Cantwell is doing PR for them. So they, you know, it's just they have a cool product. People were really excited, and it was kind of fun to do something different, like a barbecue pizza and things like that. But no, my team did really well this year. So it was cool to just be around so many good cooks and learn new things. You know, historically, I'd been on the two sauce support team for a while, and Dad and I were on this team called Down to Smoke, which is a lot of the team members are from New York, some from Memphis. A lot of them own food trucks. So it was just cool because we did do well. We did 2 in seafood and 2 in exotic. So, you know, none of the major categories, but just placing and you know, being on stage is kind of cool.
What do you think the biggest thing you learned from that team was during your time?
just being around Mo and seeing his presentation style, because Memphis, the rules are a little different in that you have blind box judging, but then you also have the on-site, and just his knowledge of things like, for example, different types of meat and the quality of meat and how they're going to perform when you cook, and even just how things like the collagen will break down and things like that, I thought was really interesting, because I've never heard someone go into so much detail about meat, obviously, and its origin and how that affects the outcome, and really those things do matter, right? The difference of the quality and things like even what the animal ate, its diet, is all those things really do make a difference in the final product, and in his delivery and presentation. He really got into the type of pig he was using and how that affects the marbling and things like that, and I thought it was just very impressive.
One of the other things that you were doing down there was the all girls grilling competition, which you hosted, right?
So this is actually separate, but they were right back to back. So the weekend right before Memphis in May, believe it or not, Kingsford hosted the first ever Girls That Grill competition, and it was actually on site in Bentonville, Arkansas. So it's the first ever time they've done it. It was cool because, it's the first competition that I know of that's just focusing on females. Now, there is another series for KCBS called the Fire and Ice series. I know about it because I promoted it on my blog, where basically they're going to pick the top all-female teams or female-led teams, and they can have certain qualifiers or certain prizes, including diamonds, which is I don't know, it seems like kind of a funny prize to me, but shit, if you're going to be competing, why not compete for diamonds anyway, right? So the Girls That Grill competition, think about Kingsford, how they do the Invitational. So they put some time and energy into this competition in Bentonville, which is Walmart headquarters. And it piggybacks on the Bentonville Film Festival, which is a big deal in Walmart, which is essentially, it's a female... it's focusing on female filmmakers, and it was started by Gina Davis and another guy. So it was a pretty big deal. When I arrived there, Meg Ryan was at the airport and Gina Davis was hanging out and stuff like that. So it was piggybacking on that, and they had the competition, and they had some pretty big players in the space. So they had Brooke Orison, they had Leanne Whippen. They had Jennifer Duncan. You may remember her because she was from the first Chopped Grill Master series that I also competed on. Not my episode, but the same first series. And she was actually one of the judges. That's oh God, I'm having a brain fart right now.
Yeah, that's Carolyn Wells. I'm totally in the wrong place here. Hold on. Yeah, I got.
So Carolyn Wells was actually one of the judges from the event. So Leanne Whippen, Lene Oxley. You may remember her from Barbecue Pitmasters. She's kicked a lot of ass. That's me and Brooke right there. That's the girls. So to the left, you see Nicole Davenport, then you've got Brooke, then you've got Leanne Whippen. Those are the two food stylists, et cetera, and the aprons. And then you've got Lene Oxley and then Jennifer Duncan. So all super, super cool chicks. I really loved meeting all of them. And so the premise of the competition was, actually, it was kind of different in that it wasn't barbecue. It was a grilling competition. It was called Girls That Grill. And so they got everyone together, and you knew ahead of time and let them know what you wanted to cook. And so the rules were that your recipe had to be 7 ingredients or less, and everything sourced from Walmart. And you cooked it over Kingsford charcoal, and you had an hour to do so. And then leading up to the event, all the females did grilling demos of certain recipes, and Harry Connick Jr. actually made an appearance. So one of the photos you showed was Harry Connick showed up and ended up, he and Brooke ended up doing a nice rendition of When the Saints Go Marching In, which was pretty awesome. So it was just a really cool event. And Brooke ended up winning the contest with her lamb recipe, and it was amazing. And, Brooke and I are pretty good friends, so it was really cool to be able to announce her as the winner. There she is with Harry Connick. He's actually singing in a corn cob.
It looks like it.
So Walmart is a sponsor of his new show, and so he made an appearance while touring to just make an appearance. So
he sang on stage with Brooke Orson?
Yeah, it was awesome.
So how good of a singer is Brooke?
She kicked some serious ass.
Really?
My girl Brooke. Yeah.
Would you get up there and sing with Harry Connick Jr.?
We did a grilling demo together, and he is like just such a super nice guy, and come to find out he's super into barbecue. He actually has his own pit made by George Shore from Pitmaker. So, to get one of those, I think you have to decently know your stuff. So I was, he even talked about the reverse sear when we were going through his recipe. So I was pretty impressed. And believe it or not, he even talked about Meathead, how he loves Meathead and goes to his website. I was like, oh, I know.
Anything? Did he mention anybody else? He mention anybody else? Huh? Did he mention anybody else?
No.
What the fuck? He mentions Meathead, but not the guy with the #1 show on the internet?
Meathead is kind of like crazy food scientist guy, like he debunked beer can chicken. So
I know.
Which I really like beer can chicken. I'm going to continue doing it. I don't care what they say.
Just spatchcock the chicken and then pour beer all over it. I mean, you're probably going to get more beer flavor that way, right?
I don't. I've been spatchcocking a while. I'll just spatchcock it and drink the beer and call it a day.
Right. That's right. That's beer can chicken in the best way. All right. So what do you have going on like in the next coming weeks and months?
So you guys check out my blog. I'm actually running a really neat giveaway with the Michael Simon Ergo Chef knife set. So it's a set of 3 knives that I'll be doing as a Father's Day giveaway. It's also the Myron Mixon grilling tool is included. So, later this summer I'll probably be doing more videos. It's, there's always lots of neat stuff, moving parts being Grill Grrrl, but this is definitely season. But and I know that it's always grilling season, not just, Memorial Day till Labor Day.
So did Michael Simon approach you about these knives or what? I got an issue with that guy.
So no, actually the story is that on the way home from Memphis, and I was super tired and hungover, Dad strikes up a conversation with the guy who's the marketing and sales director for Ergo Chef, and he had been competing on Myron Mixon's team to plug his little grilling knife that has I don't know if you've seen.
Oh yeah, it's dangerous at best.
I know Scott, my husband, was making a joke about how if you were drinking beers, you could
it's a nightmare.
Beer and then poke your eye out.
Yes, right.
So anyway, this guy was on Myron's team, I guess, promoting the knives, and we just decided to do a giveaway together. But the knives are nice. So it'll be a good giveaway. So you guys stay tuned for that. And I'll be doing a review of the Mini Max Big Green Eggs coming up. And then it sounds like maybe I'll be getting into doing some pellet smoking.
That's right.
In the future.
Let's hope. Fingers crossed, right?
Yeah. And then, I do a lot about grilling and barbecue, but I'm also doing a lot more about things like outdoor entertaining and just everything in that space, right? So that's kind of my realm that I play in. So, I also try to eat paleo. I'm probably on the healthier side of grilling of all our friends. So, that's what I got going on. All
right. You can find her at grillgrrrl.com. By the way, because I'm an idiot, I thought it was still 5 R's in the middle, but it's not. Just regular grill. Spell it right. I know.
From that girl that wouldn't sell it.
Thank God. I remember. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, I remember we talked about it. But anyway, I was so, I can't let go of the good stuff, in the end. What can I tell you?
Well, it was a fun way to spell it. It was like the punk rock version.
Grrrl. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. So, all right. So visit grillgrrrl.com. Look out for the giveaways and the entertaining info, all that good stuff. And Robyn, we will talk to you soon. All right. Talk to you soon. There she is, Robyn Lindars, the Grill Grrrl. Michael Simon, she got an end. She's punching me in the face and the guts. What? Michael Simon? Oh, my Lord. Harry Connick Jr. mentioning Meathead and not me? Bourbon salt. John Dawson, what are you talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. These guys. Let me talk to you quickly about the Pit Barrel Cooker gang. Pulling the trigger on a new cooker can be nerve-wracking sometimes. Temperature control, fire management. What woods to buy? Who needs the hassle? May I strongly suggest a pit barrel cooker. The pit barrel making cooking simple and fun, and it just might be the most unique, versatile, and easy-to-use cooker on the market today. Imagine a single cook that will be able to turn out great traditional barbecue meats like brisket, pork shoulder, and ribs, while also being able to ramp up temperature for the hot dogs, the chicken wings, and the burgers. The versatility is all thanks to a revolutionary design that goes beyond convection. Their hook and hang method places the food in the center of the heat, so it's acting like a stationary rotisserie, if you will. The result is great tasting, perfectly cooked meat each and every time. In the industry, we call that consistency. Now, not only is the pit barrel a fabulous cooking vessel, it is an aesthetically sexy devil as well. Not only built to withstand heat, thanks to its porcelain enamel finish, the pit barrel is able to stand up to any type of weather. It's also extremely portable. It can fit in the back of most vans, trucks, SUVs, so it's ready to go wherever you are. Of course, all barbecue folks love accessories, and the pit barrel doesn't disappoint here either. From rubs to the unique removable ash pan to the pit grips, which I use all the time, not just when I'm cooking with the pit barrel, to turkey hangers and hinged grill grates, it's a full line of accessories over there that will really complete your pit barrel experience. And the best part, for $299, the pit barrel comes fully assembled, ready to cook on, and ships free right to your door. Does it get any better than that? No. $299. What? But don't take my word for it. The folks over at AmazingRibs.com give the pit barrel cooker a top 10 rating in their gold division. It's the highest rating, by the way. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. They've also said, quote, "We're running out of good things to say about this simple, affordable smoker. There's nothing else like it on the market." Close quote. Head over to pitbarrelcooker.com. That's pitbarrelcooker.com and see what everybody's talking about. Be sure to check out their full collection of short, high-definition how-to videos, then pick up 1 or 2 for yourself. You'll thank me later. If you have any questions, you can contact them through their website, or you can call 502-228-1222. That's 502-228-1222. And yes, they will actually talk to you. Find out what great customer service is all about. But first, it starts at pitbarrelcooker.com. That's pitbarrelcooker.com. I used mine just this past weekend for chicken wings. All right, we're back right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Thanks again to Robyn Lindars for joining me. GrillGrrl.com. Grill, G-I-R-L. GrillGrrl.com. Sodium chloride meets bourbon. That's what I'm talking about. Bourbon salt. French sel de mer. What is that? Hold the salt on bourbon and ice cubes. I get it. Anyway, thanks again to Robyn Lindars. Again, her website, grillgrrl.com. Lots of giveaways. Sounds like they're going to be coming up. So if you love to win stuff, and I know Centralites love to win stuff, keep checking her out over the course of the summer. See what's up. We'll have her on sooner than later. We won't wait months and months again. Still having trouble getting over the fact that Harry Connick Jr. knows Meathead. I am such a vain bitch. Such a vain bitch. It's all right. I can admit it. I can admit that. Second hour is in store, and it's going to be grand. By the way, Last week it was the 17th Street Lighted Kolsch. I've reverted back to the 17th State Pale Ale this evening. That is my beer sponsor. And that is 17statebrewco.com. 17statebrewco.com. I wasn't going to even talk about that tonight, Matt. I was not even going to talk about it. I wasn't. But since I have 1 minute, I will talk about it, okay? Last year, I was a little worried. This year, mark my words, Cavs in 6. Cavs in 6. This coming from a diehard Cleveland Brown fans that knows pain. Pain. Deep-seated losing. The football stadium on the lake is known as the factory of sadness. I know how to lose. I've seen all of the losing. All of the best losing in Cleveland I've seen live as a youth. I'm scarred for life. I should never think we are ever going to win. Ever anything. And I'm telling you, in 6 games, the Cleveland Cavaliers will be your next National Basketball Association champions. Book it. All right, we're going to refresh libations. We're going to hit the second hour and see what happens from there. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central show right here on the Barbecue Central Radio Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Of Wine Library TV, aka WLTV, and this is BBQ Central.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how you doing?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude.
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 2 feet for wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
All right, just like that, we are into the second hour. Hey-o. Welcome, friends. You found the Barbecue Central show. Yeah. This is the show that talks about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling. We broadcast live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. It is the barbecue capital of the North Coast, and I am your aforementioned host, Greg Rempe. Hey, missed the first hour? Shame! Ching, ching, ching. Shame. Ching, ching, ching. Shame. Ching, ching. Shame. I gotta find that. It's gonna be my next... Is that on Game of Thrones? The shame thing? I've never even seen one episode. Let me see. Game of Thrones. Cersei's Walk. Game of Thrones. Cersei. Let me see. Does this work?
To you.
Oh, Lord.
Of atonement.
Shame. This is going to get pulled off of YouTube, I guarantee it.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Here we go.
Shame. 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 Shame.
What the?
Shame.
I'm watching this video. I'm
Shame.
not showing this. Oh, my Lord.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
I'm telling you right now, I have no idea what I'm watching there, but that might be my new favorite show ever. Whoa. Can they show that on YouTube? Whoa. Does anybody watch Game of Thrones? Does anybody know what I just witnessed? Oh, my Lord. Woof. What did I know? All right. Sam's Club was off this past weekend, so there's no news to update. Jason, I am not posting that link. You just put in Game of Thrones, shame, and then, whatever happens. Whatever happens. Okay, that's how you find things. Put it in YouTube, and there it goes. So, before we got out of the break, Patio Daddy-O, John Dawson, who was in the chat room, by the way, shout out. John, at one point, had one of the most prolific barbecue and grilling websites, and then, he stopped.
Get that big stuff out of here.
He said he made bourbon salt from French sel de mer. And I'm like, well, what is that? Because you know me, I'm not afraid to tell you I don't even know, because I don't even know. And then sel de mer, if John has penned this description, John, I'll be in contact. We're going to be writing a novel together. Sel de mer, quote, this deep peaty sea salt from France has a coarse texture and a mineral-rich flavor. A light gray color to the coarse crystal comes from the natural minerals from the seawater. Sel de mar, far cry from the edgy flavor of plain table salt, is gentle. Its gentle complexity unfolds on the palate in layers that any salt lover will adore. Oh my. Oh my. I should have read it in my George Takei voice. So just in case you wanted to know sel de mar, that's what sel de mar is. Oh, you know what? That's what I'm talking about right there. I knew that's where you were going to go. Working on a seasoning that I'm tentatively calling Kentucky Gentleman's Steak Seasoning. Bourbon salt, smoked black pepper, coriander. Whoa, boy. What couldn't be better than bourbon on steak or bourbon flavor on steak, as long as it's official? I hate any kind of fake-ass flavor. Fake pineapple, fake lemon, fake apple, any of that. But if it's a real, true fake banana, I hate fake banana. But if it's a real banana, because you can have really good banana pie, banana cream pie, and you can have some crappy, fake-ass tasting banana cream pie. Okay? You know what I'm talking about. You couldn't find it. What are you talking about? All right, hold on. Let me get my boy. How could I find it? Let's see. Walk of Shame. Is this it?
To you.
Yeah. All right, this is it. Here you go, Kinger. Now, you got to kind of go in, let me see. Go in about 55 seconds. Then that's when you hear the bell ringing and the shame. 2 cups bourbon, 2 cups salt, reduced, dried for 6 hours. What is he doing over there? John's a genius. And it's times when I think I couldn't love John Dawson anymore. And then he goes and does something like this. Wow. Wonderful. As I had mentioned, Sam's Club did not happen. You click that one. What are you talking about then? That's the same one that I was trying to get the sound effect from, the clinging and the clanging. Clinging and the clanging. Yeah, that's right. Can YouTube show that? The next Sam's Club stops in this. The next Sam's Club stop is this coming weekend, June 4th, folks. I don't know if you know it or not. Tomorrow, June 1st. What? I've said it before and I've said it again. 2016 rapidly coming to a close. Rapidly coming to a close. The next Sam's Club stop is this coming weekend, June 4th in Asheville, North Carolina. Good luck to all those competing. One other thing before we get back to barbecue in general. This is what this part of the show is reserved for, top of the second hour, whatever. By the way, still to come, Jason Whitcomb, Unknown BBQ, and Doug Scheiding, embedded Texas correspondent, to round out the show. Am I the only one noticing what appears to be an incredibly bad trend of human beings either being youths and being dropped into wild animal cages in the zoo, or adults running into animal cages? Just a couple days ago, I'm sure everybody saw it on the news, some 4-year-old got dropped into a gorilla's exhibit. I forget exactly where that zoo was. I mean, what? And then I'm reading in the news today, somebody down in Santo Domingo, so not in the United States, but nevertheless, the zoo's a zoo. There's wild animals at zoos. This is why they call them zoos. Ran into the cage, a lion's cage, somehow got in. I don't even know how the hell you get in. This guy was on a mission, looking to take his own life. Ran into the lion's cage, removed every single bit of his clothing, and just threw himself right in the middle of the lion's pride. And things started going very poorly for him. Now, in each case, the humans survive. Yeah, I thought it was the Cincinnati Zoo with the gorilla. But the animals got popped. And so there's the issue that people are struggling with, right? Oh, parents are stupid. They dropped the kid in there. Or the kid jumped in, or the kid said he wanted to go in there, and he jumped in anyway. And the gorilla wasn't hurting the kid, blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't want to see a gorilla get shot. I don't want to see lions get shot. However, I think if there's a choice to be made, you got to save the human, right? Right? So, if there's no other way, the animal gonna get popped. Hey, I love lions, but I guess what other choice you got? I don't know. But I agree. Darwinism, right? You jump in the cage with lions, maybe you should expect to be eaten by a lion. Anyway, folks. Public service announcement from the Barbecue Central show. Stay out of the zoo in the cages. Just look at them. Enjoy them from a distance. Also, enjoy the Barbecue Guru. That's right. If you're not familiar with how they work, let me tell you. Imagine a product that allows you to set your pit temperature, and one set keeps it running all the way through the cook at that temperature. Sound too good to be true? It's not. It's real life. You can take advantage of this technology today. Maybe you're a busy working pro like me, or perhaps you're constantly on the run with kids doing errands like me. Frankly, you just don't have the time to sit around, tend the pit temps. The Guru allows you to throw on a pork butt, a couple slabs of ribs, you're off to do whatever it is you need to get done. And the Barbecue Guru maintains that pit temperature you set it at. There are currently 4 different models to choose from. 2 of the most popular ones right now are the CyberQ Wi-Fi and the Party Q. Now, the Party Q is great because it's the least cost entry point. It's a completely self-contained package. It runs on AA batteries. You can bring it from cooker to cooker to cooker. You got a kettle-style grill, it'll work there. You got a bullet-style cooker, it'll work there. You got a ceramic-style cooker, it'll work there. No problem. Set the temperature, it's off and running. It's the cruise control. Now, if you really like the tech, you want to control up to 2 cookers at once, you want to gauge multiple internal temperatures of meat, CyberQ Wi-Fi is the one you want. You can make adjustments to your pit temperature. You can monitor internal temperatures of meat right from your smart device. Hook it up to the CyberQ Wi-Fi. You can see all of that information right at your device. Never have to get out of bed to do anything anymore. Do yourself a favor. Head on over to thebbqguru.com and check out their products. If you have any questions about what to order, call them directly, please. Don't guess. 800-288-GURU. That's 800-288-GURU. They will make sure you're outfitted with exactly what you need to get you up and running right out of the box. That's 800-288-GURU. Or visit thebbqguru.com. The Barbecue Guru continues to be a breakthrough in barbecue technology. We're back right after this. Stick around.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by CookingPellets.com, your number one source for wood pellets to fire all of those pellet-driven cookers. Visit CookingPellets.com for more information or to purchase. You can also visit Amazon.com to purchase as well. Download their app. You'll be happy that you did. Everybody loves the app, of course. Plus, it lets you know when shipping is great. All right, my next guest is a championship hitmaster for one of the most consistent and successful teams in the Imperial Polk County in Florida, but is also in the business of barbecue as well. He also happens to be the newest advertising partner here on this show with the Unknown Smoker Accessories business. So let's go ahead and head on over to the hotline and welcome back Jason Whitcomb from Unknown Barbecue. Jay, how are you, buddy?
Good, Greg. How you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fabulous, Jason. Appreciate the time here tonight. And I guess before we get into the business side or the accessories side of Unknown, little recap of where the competition team is sitting right now. I know Team of the Year is starting to tie up a little bit here because it gets really hot down in Florida right about now. So, from where you started, beginning of the season to where you guys are right now, how do you gauge the team's success?
Well, we kind of got a slow start this year. New baby on the way, so we had to take a break. But I'd say the last 6 contests, we finished top 5 in 4 of them and got a reserve grand and a grand in our last contest. So we ended on a high note, and we'll be picking back up in Madeira Beach in a few weeks.
Flavor profile-wise, is it pretty much now the same regardless of sanctioning body, or is there still a little bit of a regional aspect that you find?
Yeah, I mean, the flavor profile we run is we try to make it work in both, but you've always got the whole Florida thing where it's a little bit sweeter. But we run the same thing, north and south, when we make it up north. Seems to do all right.
From the end of last year, moving through this competition season, was there any really big adjustments that you made to either, meat purveyors or seasonings or sauces or anything like that?
Yeah, we did a few things, a few changes. We still got a few of our sponsors that we run with, like Oak Ridge Barbecue. That's been one of the good ones that we still keep that flavor profile. As far as meats, there's there's a new guy on the block out there, Shane McCrary out there at Master Purveyors. He's putting out some good products. So it's really changed the competition down here because everybody's getting some really good briskets and good consistent pork butts. And it's really, I guess, leveling the playing field. That's the best way to put it.
There seems to be a lot of top-level Florida teams down there that are using Master Purveyor. How does he kind of get a foothold into that whole scene?
Well, he went straight to the barbecue teams and asked them what they wanted, and he's basically cherry picking everything that comes through and looking for the best product he can, and doing what the other ones won't do, and going the extra mile, and he's just bringing in some huge stuff, and I mean it's helping the cooks. I mean it definitely takes that out of the game, when you're going up to Sam's or something, you're picking up stuff and you get to a contest and you never know how fresh it is. But this guy's really catering to the teams and bringing up some good quality meats.
Is catering to the team and getting those good quality meats also coming with perhaps more of a premium than you would find going online and getting it from somebody else?
I would say very competitive and maybe a touch lower since you're not eating up that shipping price, I mean, it's right here in Tampa, so probably 45 minutes from where I'm at. You can just shoot over there and scoop it up. So
Jason Whitcomb.
Yeah, that knocks off shipping.
Jason Whitcomb joining me here on the show. Team Unknown BBQ, the website unknownbbq.com. And how many? You're sitting 12th overall Florida Barbecue Association Team of the Year points, assuming me checking an hour or so ago is up to date. So are you guys pretty happy with where you're sitting right now? Or, I mean, obviously everybody would like to be higher, but given the season and what you had to deal with personally, you guys pretty satisfied with the 12th right now?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, given how many contests we've missed and the few that we have cooked, we're happy with where we're at. We finished on a high note, and then we're going to go into Madeira Beach. And, I mean, it feels good where we're at. We struggled last year, had some ups and downs, and it just seemed like we couldn't turn in the right stuff. And we, just went back to the drawing board, went back to simple. And 2016, it was a little bit better to us. And once we get the whole baby thing out of the way and get back out on the road, we'll be we're happy where we're at, and we're confident we can go right back into it and turn out the same product. It's kind of like a well-oiled machine.
Jason, it seems like over the last, I don't know, it's been 4 or 5 years, it's either been a Jim Elser Team of the Year or it's been a Matt Barber Team of the Year, Sweet Smoke Q, Hot Wachulas, respectively. I mean, it's got to be tough for all the other teams looking up, and these two are the ones kind of duking it out at the end over the last handful of years. Is there a way to kind of chink the armor and worm your way up there at some point, or are they really going to be the top two contenders here for the foreseeable future as long as they stay in it?
Well, I mean, if you cook that many contests, and you're bound in term to get better every time you cook. And those guys cook a lot of contests, and they're good cooks. And I mean, if you're cooking half as many as they're doing, and they're fine tuning and tweaking, everything just comes natural to them. So they aren't untouchable. I'll put it like that, but they are great cooks. And I think if we got some more contests and got all our ducks in a row, we'd be right up there with them. So. Not taking anything from them guys, but there's a lot of good cooks in Florida, especially Central Florida.
When you look at a Team of the Year, whether it's Florida Barbecue Association or whether it's an FBA or some of these other sanctioning bodies, I was talking with Travis Clark, who's the current KCBS Team of the Year last week, and he said, man, he didn't seem he seemed, I don't even know if satisfied is the word, but he was happy that he was Team of the Year and won it last year. But he seemed so disenchanted with the process by the time he was, 3/4 of the way through it. Do you think that's a similar thing with the guys in the FBA, that it is a grind? And at the end, aside from saying that you're FBA Team of the Year, there's no huge payoff. There's not, huge sponsorship dollars and TV shows and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'd say it's more bragging rights than anything. And I mean, it's an accomplishment, but I think that once they do it the first time, it kind of takes the shine off of it the second time. I mean, you want as many as you can get, but the first time probably is a lot more important than getting it back to back or all these other ones. So I could see that, and it takes a toll on you. I mean, these guys that are out there every weekend or every other weekend, it beats you down. So yeah, it does become, it takes away from the enjoyment. sometimes.
Do you guys have a certain amount of contests you like to squeeze in every year?
Yeah, I mean, our average was anywhere from like 18 to 20. Our team consists of me, my dad, and my brother, and we have a handful of other teammates that come and help on various contests, but the main three are us. So it's like, we all have our day jobs, so getting everybody for the same contest, and we have our own lives, so we try to hit the ones we want, and then, we choreograph the rest of it. So, yeah, I mean, we'd like to cook more, but it's hard to get 3 working men to a contest, on any given weekend. So a single-man team would definitely be easier to do when it comes to that.
And you're going to be in Madeira Beach in a couple weeks, right? That's the next event?
Yeah, definitely. That's a good contest. We'll be there.
All right. So the other side of this segment is that, of course, I mentioned it a number of times already, you guys are the newest sponsor to this show with the Unknown BBQ, Unknown Smoker Accessories portion, I guess, which is, another aspect of the Team Unknown business. So,
right.
I have to imagine as seeing, it's been a few years now, the first time I saw the Weber Smoky Mountain hinge, and I was like, God damn, somebody actually thought of that and actually made it happen. So is this something that, is like you're a tradesman and you were able to make this, or are you outsourcing these things and bringing them in to sell? Like, what's the deal here?
I've got 20 years experience in metal fabrication, and that is my day job. And I guess my inspiration came from my dad as far as the hinge goes. He's always built stuff and came up with cool ideas. And he came to me one day, it was probably 5 years ago, and said, "Hey man, I need a hinge for this thing. This lid sucks. There's nowhere to put it."
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So I made him a hinge, and it was just thrown together piece of crap, but it worked. Well, at the contest, people saw it and they were wanting them. I'm like, well, I can't do it at work. They frown upon that. And so finally I just said, you know what? I'm going to make me 10 of these things and see how they do. Got me a welding machine for the house and built 10 of them and was selling them at the barbecue contest. And it just went from 10 to 25 to 50 to 100. And I mean, I'm ordering thousands at a time. And it was like, I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that a hinge would get so much interest and consume so much of my time, but it does, and it's a good thing.
All right, so bring me through the process here. Like, do you get it in like bulk sheets or, like plate, and then you're like CNCing these bitches out? Like, how does the process go for you? I mean, it seems like it potentially is time consuming, right?
Yeah, I work for a precision fab shop, so we have lasers and mills and all that stuff. So I draw in AutoCAD as well. So I drew the parts up in AutoCAD. We laser cut them out at work. I purchase them through the company, just like them as my business. And then I bring them to my house and I weld all the hinges in my garage. And so basically I have 2 welding setups in my garage, shipping department, R&D, and yeah, it's work 60 hours a week on my regular job, and probably another 50 hours a week doing this, and then I squeeze barbecue contests and the other little piece of that. So yeah, everything is cut at work, bring it home. Everything is fabricated here at my house, packaged and shipped directly from my house.
So you're doing 110 hours a week minimum?
Yeah,
wow.
I'd say.
Wow. So what do you spend any time with those new kids or what, man?
Yeah, that's why I don't have a shop. That's why I keep it connected to the house. That way I can walk inside whenever I want.
No
and
doubt.
I got a beer fridge right here too, so
yeah, that
helps me.
No doubt.
But yeah, we've talked about getting a shop and stuff like that, and I'm like, nah, I can't. I'd be away from the family too much. So I'm right outside the door. We're right here, so we're making it work for what it is right now.
Plus, getting a shop is going to add to overhead, right?
Yeah, definitely. But that opens the door for a lot of other products. So I'm kind of limited to space right now, which is holding me back from a few things.
All right, so there's the hinge, which can go on like the bullet style cookers. It can go on ugly drum style cookers, Weber kettle style grills. Now, is that the same hinge for all of those, or are they like you have to go order different ones for the different cookers?
Yeah, if you go for the WSM, it'll fit the 18 and the 22. But I'll also make one for the 14.5 WSM, and then the kettle hinge is different as well. It fits, but it'll fit all three sizes. I just got to change the mounting plate. And then I have versions that fit the UDS smokers, and the kettle hinge will actually fit the UDS smoker with the Weber kettle lid on top of it. So a lot of people like to convert them over and use the kettle lid. So that'll fit that. So, I mean, there's 3 different styles, and pretty much covers all those smokers.
When you're putting one on the kettle grill, since there isn't like does it come with a handle, or like how do you open it?
There's actually an instruction video or a mounting video on the shop website of our website, the shop section. But the way it opens is it basically pivots on a pin, and then it hits a tab at the end, and it slides it down and locks it into place. So you basically just lift the lid, it'll stop and drop into place. You just let it go, and it stays. When you're ready to close it, you just lift it up about 1/4 of an inch, it disengages it, and you close it. There's a quick disconnect pin in it, so if you want to take it apart and clean it, or you need to transport it, you can separate it if you want. It also helps when traveling. The hinge keeps your lid from blowing off down the road. I've already had a couple people call and tell me that it saved their lids, so it's a little insurance policy.
So you are using the handle that's on the top of the dome and then using that to pivot it up and down?
Correct.
Installation-wise, I mean, is it like pretty easy? And how I base that is, can I do it? And I think my wife would be the first one to tell you that I'm the least handy person ever. So when there's drills and bits and electricity, I mean, things could go wildly wrong for me.
Right.
I'm not kidding.
I've had a few people come to me and say they couldn't hit the ground with a hammer, and they've still been able to figure out how to install it. It comes with detailed instructions, and has my email down at the bottom if there's any questions, and I'm happy to walk people through it to install it. But once they get it, and it's fairly simple. I mean, if you can read a tape measure and drill a hole, then you can. I mean, you don't need a tape measure to mount it, but it's that simple. And you're talking max 15 minutes, 20 minutes if you take your time to install it. So it'll outlive the life of the grill. It's all stainless steel construction, so I mean, it's rock solid.
I'm getting an instant chat request here asking me if you have any that fit Gateway drum smokers.
Yes, I actually modified the UDS hinge that I have. The plate was hitting the handle, and the way I like to mount it, it was in line with the handle of the Gateway. So what I did was I cut out, and they were actually fit for Rob Bagby's gateways that he got, and I did the prototypes for his. There's a like a V-notch cut out of them now, and I do all of them that way, so it fits. It's more universal and covers it. So yeah, they are installed on gateways.
All right, so I mean, it sounds like hinge is the way to go. Do you have like generic or high level price points for these?
Yeah, they all run about $48 a piece, $7 shipping. If people want to buy in bulk, I do offer bulk pricing, and I'm willing to work with whoever, help them out.
How many are you shipping a week?
I'm shipping now probably about 40 a week.
Really?
That's just a single person that are purchasing them. I'm also selling to a distributor that orders 1,000 hinges every 3 months.
Wow.
So I'm tipping up there right around 10,000 total sold right now. So it's crazy.
Are you at capacity right now, or could you press out another 500 or 1,000 if you needed to every month?
Yeah, I could get more. Yeah, I got the capacity here. We run unlimited amount at work. I mean, I can run 50,000 pieces if I want at work. I mean, we have the machines to get it knocked out. So if that comes about, yeah, we can fill the order.
Have you been approached at all by a Weber or somebody that is looking to buy the brainchild from you yet? Is that what we're looking at potentially?
Not Weber. I haven't been approached by Weber. I've had a couple people talk to me about it, but
yeah,
not Weber. And nothing that seemed too promising. But I'm still waiting on my patent, and that's getting finalized as we speak. So once that's done, then I'll be more willing to talk. But until that, I'm just kind of keeping it as much as I can do and keep it all in house, and keep it American made.
And then also you have the spice racks and those aluminum foil holders as well, right?
Yeah, we've been using one of those in the trailer since we've had it, and nothing. When you're working in a cluttered space, it's easy to screw up your turn-in. So we have everything up and out of the way. We've been using this foil holder in our trailer for probably 6 years. Took it out of our old trailer, put it in our new trailer. It just kind of floated with us, and people have been wanting it. And I'm like, well, I'm busy with the hinges and stuff, but I'm looking at other avenues to fill, and so I made them, and those things are selling pretty quick too. I mean, it just really cleans up your trailer, ties things up, or your outdoor kitchen. It's just getting everything where where it's at. When you're in crunch time doing your turn-in boxes, you really want to just reach up and grab it, and when it's there, it makes life easier. When you got it laying on your table and you got pork juice getting all over it, and it's just really, a mess.
And you're taking foil out of its original box and then dropping it in there, or how does it fit in?
No, you just drop the original box in there, and I got the front cut down low enough to where it just uses the original cutter off the box, so there's no blade to get in the way.
Nice.
So it just lays right in there, mounts on your wall with 3 screws, and away you go. Stainless steel. It's got our pig etched on the front, keeping it barbecue, so it's pretty clean.
Jason Whitcomb is the pitmaster of Team Unknown BBQ and also the creator of these fabulous products that we've just been talking about. You can check it out at unknownbbq.com/shop and check it out. As he had said, if you got Gateway Drum Smokers, he can help you out there. If you have any questions, there's contact information on the website. Jay will be more than happy to help you out. Maybe even like some custom stuff too, right? I mean, you're open for that. You never know.
Yeah, I also do, during the winter, I do chimneys and fire pits and you name it. I build it. So I got all kinds of things.
All right, unknownbbq.com/shop. Jason, really appreciate the time tonight. More importantly, appreciate you coming on as a sponsor partner, and good luck in 2 weeks in Madeira.
Thank you, Greg. Have a good one.
You too. There he is.
All right, bye.
Jason Whitcomb, Unknown BBQ. Let me tell you, man, great guest. Great energy, talking well, succinct. All the markings that make a great guest. Great phone connection. Had somebody email me last week, was like, Greg, I've noticed that the interviews that I enjoy the most are the ones that I can understand, and the ones that I like the least have really bad phone or Skype connections. Oh, you too? We must be related. Folks, let me talk to you about one of my favorite sponsors of all time, Cook Shack. Folks, Cook Shack manufactures smoker ovens for barbecue lovers with any amount of experience. Whether you're barbecue in the backyard, in a competition circuit, or in a 5-star dining facility, Cook Shack has the unit that will do the job. And with a full line of barbecue sauces, spices, pellets, and wood chunks, it's the perfect one-stop shop. Cook Shack strives to be your barbecue resource center by offering cooking classes, online recipes, how-to videos, 2 blogs, smoking and grilling 101s, and a video cooking classroom. Check out their website at cookshack.com or follow them on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Google+. Get advice or share your passion for barbecue on their world-class barbecue forum. Cook Shack pellet-fired smokers are the choice of champions because they are designed by a champion. Ed Fast Eddie Marin. The FEC 100, the PG 1000 are always customer favorites. The PG 1000 could double as a smoker and grill. Low and slow or hot and fast, the pellet grill line gives you the most for the money. Cook Shack residential electric smokers are the #1 smoker in the industry. High quality means high durability and versatility. Anything you cook in your oven, you can make in a Cook Shack. Passion, dedication drives Cook Shack's manufacturing, with quality always being at the forefront. Get the best in barbecue since 1962. Call 800-423-0698. That's 800-423-0698, or visit cookshack.com. I know, I've seen those fire pits, man. They are nifty. Nifty, to say the least. What's hashtag audio crazy? Come on, Patrick. You tell him. Tell him you heard about the hinges on the show in your email. Tell him you want a hookup. Come on. I'm going to talk to Jason. Maybe we can't get a Barbecue Central show existing discount while he's on his advertising partner. Who knows? It's not out of the realm of possibility. All right, we're back with Doug Scheiding right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Unknown Smoker Accessories. As luck would have it, do you have a Weber Smoky Mountain, a UDS, a kettle-style grill? Tired of taking the lid off and putting it on the ground? Yeah. Unknown Smoker Accessories has the lid solution for you, as well as some other very cool barbecue products. Visit unknownbbq.com/shop, S-H-O-P, to see the coolness that awaits you. All products are handcrafted, stainless steel, and made in America. unknownbbq.com/shop. And now, helping me close the show, the official Texas embedded correspondent from Texas, Doug Scheiding from Row Cookers. Doug, how are you, buddy?
I'm great, Greg. How are you tonight?
Absolutely fabulous, Doug. Appreciate you joining me. And I guess before we go anywhere tonight, I have to ask you, is it alarming that we're seeing people getting into animal cages at zoos and the animals are the ones being put down?
Yeah, that is all the rage today. But,
I know, it's
quite a controversy.
Here's the problem. I think humans are put in an incredibly bad situation, the zoos, whether they're in America or wherever this guy in the lion's den was, that the human beings of the zoos are put in incredibly bad situations of having to weigh, do I save this idiot that just did this? And because you're not going to be able to wrestle a lion down, just enough time so the guy gets away. I mean, it's a deadly force situation. Same thing with the gorilla in Cincinnati. So, I mean, I'm not a huge animal guy per se. I mean, I like to eat them. But I hate to see a gorilla die because some idiot or some lions die because of idiot. But what other choice is there to make? I mean, there seems to be no other choice, though, right?
Right. Yeah, obviously a tranquilizer wouldn't have worked quick enough. So. Yeah.
Or they were saying you shoot the gorilla with the tranquilizer, there's a chance that thing's just going to fall over right on the kid.
Right.
Then you've made a terrible. Then you've made a terrible mistake. You should have shot. Anyway, so what's
put up like hockey the plexiglass soon, so you can't do that. Since it just fell over the kid.
I know.
Just fell
you got to do something. Evidently, we have to protect human beings from human beings even more than we do already. So. What's the hot news down in Texas right now that you are really burning on right now?
Well, it's if you've been watching the news, we're actually flooding everywhere in Texas. So we've had more cook-offs canceled this year due to flooding. I mean, the Brazos River is flooding right now, and events where they hold, like the Hold 'em and Hit 'em was under like 8 feet of water earlier, and so that's been a huge problem as of recently. So other things Ernest Cervantes just released his line of rubs, and I don't know if they have Academy sports stores up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So they've already released his rub in Academy, and then also a large grocery chain, H-E-B, has released his rub as well, selling it. And there's been rumors of Ernest starting a restaurant here in the next year or two. So I think that may be one of his ultimate goals.
Have you heard from him personally that he's been dying to open up a real restaurant?
I spoke to him about a year ago, and that was kind of on his goal list of things to do. And I saw a post on Facebook recently, about a month ago, and he said, wait for 2017 in North San Antonio.
Is Texas overrun with barbecue restaurants at this point? Is that one of those things where are you going to make a sauce and you're going to make a rub, but it just seems so overwhelmingly involved now with so many other ones? Is that a risky look? Restaurants in general a risky business, but barbecue in Texas almost seems a little bit more risque.
Well, everyone in Texas, a lot of people in Texas think they can barbecue, and so in actuality, I'm a barbecue snob, and there's only a couple of restaurants here in San Antonio, barbecue restaurants that I'll even go to. And there's, that's probably a trend as a lot of crappy barbecue restaurants open up, and people think it's good, but that's just because they're not very good backyard cooks themselves.
What's your favorite Texas barbecue restaurant? Not necessarily San Antonio based, but just in Texas, I guess.
Oh, in Texas? Yeah. Probably Louis Mueller's up in Taylor. Man, their beef ribs are like 2 pounds each. They cost $40-$45, but they are fantastic. Wow. And so from an atmosphere standpoint, I like the one in Dripping Springs called Salt Lick. The food is decent. Just don't put any sauce on it. But I love the atmosphere, and it's a BYOB, or it used to be, so you can bring your own beer and save the cost on that.
Aside from the torrential rains that are taking place in Texas right now, any other hot news going on right now?
Well, I guess over the last few months, and I wasn't aware of this, but the new show Smoked is actually being filmed just outside of Austin, and when Harry Sue's going to be on one of the shows, and in fact, I think the premiere is June 1st with Ernest and Robbie Royal. And but when Harry Sue came to town, I went up and helped him kind of behind the scenes because he was competing on a mentor challenge against Mike Davis of Laudable Barbecue. So
they were meant. He took one of Mike's classes or something.
No. They each brought a student. And so the student was cooking while the mentor kind of told them what to do and things like that. So I believe that's what the makeup of the challenge was.
So what's the edge, Robbie Royal and Ernest Cervantes?
What do you mean? What is the edge? I mean,
isn't Smoke supposed to be like somebody's got a grudge with somebody? Like what's their beef?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why those two are going against each other, actually, but must be a pretty good one if they're opening up the show with that one to start off with.
Yeah, I thought the one with Jeff Elser and Jim Elser was odd, but TV's always looking for. I'm very jaded when it comes to barbecue on television anymore. So when they have like two brothers going up each other, wait, was it him? Somebody was going up against Matt Barber from like the Florida Barbecue Association. I mean, it just seemed it seems a little contrived when you read it on paper. But I mean, I understand most of these people that watch this have no idea, what's going on here. So
it's amazing. It's amazing how little they pay the fees for those people to be on the show. I think it was like $400 or $500 for them to do the show appearance, and they would only pay for mileage and not flight and things like that. So you'd think they'd have a little bigger budget.
Well, the payoff is, that you are on television. And magically the money will start draining in. So, whatever. So my third Tuesday of the month guest is Steven Reichlin, of course.
Yes.
And I understand you're going to be doing some kind of appearance with him or something.
Well, I'm actually, I just found out, a friend of mine sent me a link and said, hey, do you know this guy that's coming to town? He's coming to one of the barbecue restaurants. It's a new restaurant. It's called Smoke, oddly enough, Project Smoke, but I don't think there's any relation there. But he's coming just for a fundraiser for the San Antonio Public Library. And so I'm gonna just go and attend it and kind of, hopefully I'll be able to talk with him some. So I don't think it'll be a huge event, but maybe 100 people or so.
All right. Upcoming class-wise, what do you have in the shoot there?
Actually, I'm going to, CJ has a class end of the month, and I'm going to attend his class. and I'm going to Chad Ward. I'm going to go attend a class up at Traeger headquarters this weekend and heckle Chad Ward from the back of the class, and then I'm going to teach a class next week on June 9th, and then Diva Q is actually coming to Texas and teaching 4 or 5 classes as well, and then I'll be teaching another class at the end of the month. So June will be pretty busy with barbecue.
Now, you are personally attending Clarence Joseph's class like on your own?
Yes, that's correct.
So what are you looking to get out of that? I mean, you're a world championship pitmaster. What do you look to gain out of taking class?
If I can pick up just 1 or 2, maybe 3 items of techniques or something that someone else is doing, then it's worth it to me. So I just kind of want to see what other pitmasters are doing. I've only really taken 1 class, Craig Sherry's class, and picked up several different tips or techniques on what he does. And so that's what I look for, is just 1 or 2 items. And
do you think like what's the class that's helped you the most? Has it been Craig's class, you think?
Yeah, and well, that's been the only one I've barbecue class I've taken. I've taken other culinary type classes, but Craig's class, I wasn't one for the the parquet kind of thing, and they use a lot of the parquet to really get the softer bark on ribs, and there were a couple of things in chicken that helped me as well.
Have you used or tried that Victory Lane stuff, that butter bath and rub yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't. I met them at Memphis in May, but that's somewhat intriguing. But I don't know anyone down here that's using it. But not to say that would stop me from buying it. But just haven't really purchased it yet.
That almost seems, and I have no idea what I'm talking about, so excuse my ignorance. But that product almost seems anti-Texas for whatever. I don't know how else to say it. Almost like how a lot of guys are still using offsets down there, and they're not using the Wagyu beef and all that other stuff. Right. Butter, bath, and wrap just seems like anti-Texas barbecue. You might get a boot up your ass if you pull that out.
Well, yeah, and I kind of get that anyway, with my name of Rogue Cookers and cooking on a pellet cooker. I'm always looked at as a little different anyway.
I mean, what gives with that? Just because Texas is Texas and this is the way we've done it, or what? Like no progressive thought?
Offset cookers just dominate the competition scene down here. We're men are men, and we have to stay up all night and beat our chest and things like that. Hell, I like to get a little sleep, drink a little bourbon on Friday, and get a good 3-4 hours sleep on Friday night. But the last cook-off I went to last weekend, there were 3 pellet cookers. There was myself, someone that was cooking next to me on a Fast Eddie, and then there was a Yoder. I actually hadn't seen a Yoder up close and personal, and man, that thing is a beast.
Yeah, the thing's real nice, right?
Yeah, it's real heavy.
Let me drop right back to cooking classes here real quick. Do you feel, I mean, you're a successful pit master, do you feel that there's a criteria that has to be met in order for you, we'll say you, to go out and solicit people to take a class?
Yeah, I'm doing it in conjunction with Traeger because Traeger asked me to do it, and I'm one of the few pit masters that has done that. Would I go off and do it on my own? No, I don't think I've really earned the stripes to do that. And truthfully, I'd like to keep some things to myself, and I'm not going to tell everybody exactly my recipe that I'm doing and those sorts of things, because that's kind of personal and something I want to keep to myself. So I wouldn't do it as something I would offer.
Well, I agree with that, because I would never share anything with everybody if I was a successful pitmaster. Doug, can I hold you over for a break real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit about some trends in some Memphis in May?
Absolutely.
All right, hold on 1 second here, and we'll be back with Doug Scheiding here in just 1 second. But first, I'm going to talk to you about Big Papa Smokers, the one-stop online shop for anyone interested in barbecue, the #1 dealer of Mac pellet grills in the world. Big Papa Smokers features a wide selection of American-made grills and smokers, such as the Old Hickory Ace BP, the Gateway Drum Smoker, even a drum kit that gives you everything you need to make a world-class smoker out of a 55-gallon drum. Big Papa Smokers has also made a name for itself in recent years by crafting an award-winning line of championship rubs, from flavor like Sweet Money to Happy Ending. Their rubs have had a hand in winning almost every major barbecue competition, period. Don't think that they can just be pigeonholed in competitive barbecue either. BPS rubs have become so well known, they've been picked up by a nationwide restaurant chain called BJ's Restaurant and Brew House. With 4 of the 9 rubs on their permanent menu, amid glowing reviews, BPS rubs are proven to be a great addition to anyone's pantry. Big Papa's also banded together with fellow California-based rub company Simply Marvelous Barbecue to form what has now become known as the West Coast Offense. Defying conventional wisdom, these 2 California-based rub makers have cornered the market on competitive barbecue and begun to redefine flavor profiles that competitive cooks from across the country have begun to aim for. Also, the online meat locker, top quality meats from Snake River Farms. They're looking at bringing you the best flavors on the market. Always looking at bringing you the new kids on the block for this barbecue season, so keep an eye out for that. Also, Big Papa has created a unique brand ambassador program called the BPS Elite Team, featuring 15 of the best competition teams in the country working together to promote camaraderie, competition barbecue, and to benefit children's charities across the U.S. Keep in mind that Big Papa Smokers has been able to do all this with only 5 years of being in the biz, turning competition barbecue on its head, providing customers with the very best barbecue products and becoming a staple of a nationwide restaurant chain, and benefiting children's charities across the U.S. Just the beginning for Big Papa Smokers. Website, bigpapasmokers.com. That's bigpapasmokers.com. By the way, Sterling Ball winning another competition this past weekend. Congratulations to him. Again, bigpapasmokers.com, and we're back with Doug Scheiding right after this. Stick around.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Doug Scheiding joining me and hanging with me through the break here. A couple minutes left here, Doug. So I know you attended Memphis in May. I was just talking with Robyn Lindars in the first hour, kind of getting her recap. What were some of your best takeaways at Memphis in May?
I was actually hosted by a team, Rebel Roaster Review, or R3Q. Rob Harwell had invited me to attend. And besides the presentations and things like that Robyn spoke about, one of the interesting things that I saw is the teams that didn't make the finals, after the first cut, they were doing everything possible for those teams that did make the finals. If they needed anything, like R3Q, they gave sauce bowls, because they have to do the presentation for 4 judges, and so they didn't have 4 sauce bowls, so they gave another team sauce bowls. They also helped give some of their decorations away, because everything's kind of a dog and pony show for the presentation. So I actually thought that was pretty cool that they were willing to help so much, and a lot of other teams seem to be doing that as well.
Were you surprised that some of the big names didn't even make it to the finals this year?
Yeah, I was a little surprised, obviously Tuffy, but, the first round, the 70% of the first round score was made up of the blind box. So the only 30% was made up of the 3 judges' presentation. So it's a little bit of a wild card when that happens. So,
Doug, what do you see trend-wise here over the next, or what have you been seeing, and what do you think might be happening for the rest of the season?
Well, here in Texas, there's a thing called Kids Q Nation, and a lot of the bigger cook-offs are having Kids Q in combination with the cook-off. So right after brisket turn in, they'll give the kids pork chops, and they've got grills and everything, and they might have 50, 60 kids competing in that, and the parents seem to take more pride and pleasure in their kid doing well in that. So hopefully they give the pork chops just before the turn in, so that there's no marinating by the parents and things like that. So
parents are the bane of existence in competition and kids, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Doug Scheiding is the pitmaster of Rogue Cookers and the official embedded reporter for Texas when it comes to this show. Doug, always appreciate the time, man. Thanks for coming on.
You bet. Thanks for having me on, Greg.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
There he is, Doug Scheiding, the pitmaster of Rogue Cookers. Doug's a pro, man. He gets out right on time. No need to worry about if he's going to press over, not overly work. Look, I'm just having good guests tonight. I'm having a streak of good guests. Heaven forbid. It's got to go right for me sometime, right? Of course. All right, let's wrap it up and get out of here. All the way back in the first hour. Sorry, something just jumped off my page here. All the way back in the first hour, we talked with Scott Thomas from Grill and Fools. 123,000 Instagrammers. Check them out. We talked with Robyn Lindars, the Grill Grrrl, grillgrrrl.com, her website. We're going to try and hook up a 4th of July segment here in just a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. Thanks to Robyn. Then in the second hour, we talked with Jason Whitcomb, official news sponsor of this show. Hinges, foil holders, spice racks, all great stuff for your competition trailer or, your barbecue area at the home. UnknownBBQ.com/shop. Check him out. I'll try and work on a discount that we can post up as well. I know Patrick's waiting for a discount. Patrick, you're waiting for a discount, right? Of course. And helping me close the show, Roe Cooker's Pitmaster, Doug Scheiding, official Texas correspondent for the Barbecue Central show. September 11th, 2001, I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.